Hello, everyone. My name is Marina Favret from South Africa. I'm on the Leadership Council with this great company called Onpassive. And today I've got a very special guest with us, Lerato, who is a music artist, global. We'll get to hear all about her now. And I've got a few questions for her. We're going to get to know all about Lerato, where she was born, her upbringing, her schooling, and her career. So stay tuned until the end. You don't want to miss this. Lerato, welcome.
Hi Marina, how are you?
Very good, thank you. You are beautiful. Gosh, I watched your music videos and you have got a voice of an angel. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Lerato, before, just to break the ice a little bit, I'm going to ask you a few quick spitfire questions just to relax you.
Yeah.
Right, you got 2 seconds to answer. What is your favorite color?
Red.
Your favorite number?
8.
Great. Your favorite food?
Ooh, food. Spinach.
Oh, really? Wow, that's
Yes.
a first.
I
And your
love
favorite
spinach.
holiday destination?
Oh my gosh. Bora Bora.
Oh, woman of taste, eh? And your favorite animal?
Lion.
Oh,
Definitely
wow.
lion.
Awesome. That was fantastic. Thank you. Some interesting answers there. I would also have said Bora Bora, but I've never been. That's what I want to. I want to go.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Lerato, I just want maybe our audience to know exactly who you are. So if we could get a little bit of your background, where you were born, where you went to school, your childhood, your marital status, do you have children? And then we'll move on to your career afterwards. So take it over. Thanks.
Okay, so I was born in South Africa in the Val Triangle. I attended school there and then went to for further education. I attended like a school, of course, like a college, studied computers, studied for a couple of years and decided that I don't belong into the corporate world. I'm a creative, so I went into the arts. I'm married with 2 beautiful boys and married to a beautiful human being. Lerato Shadare is a music producer, and we also have 2 children. I have 2 what do you call it, stepchildren, older children. So in total, we have 4 kids together. He's an American citizen, so we are like global people. We are between Europe, South Africa, and America. So almost all my 2 children have, I think, South African citizenship, German citizenship, and American. So we are global people. We're not only in one place. So I think did I answer everything?
Yes, well, that's you went to school and you
In a
said you
nutshell.
studied. Yes, you studied computers,
Computers, yes.
IT.
I studied
All
computers.
right, so you've got a good
Yeah.
understanding of IT industry. And then
Yes.
how did you get into music?
How did I get into music? Okay, so like I told you, I went to study computers. I decided, okay, this is not for me. And what I wanted to do actually was to study nature conservation. I wanted to work with big game animals. I wanted to study to work for a game reserve, and that's what I wanted to do, to just study animals and go into different fields that you can pursue in that career. And while I was trying to register for that, there was no space. So I thought, okay, fine, I started singing as a like at a very young age. So music was always part of my life, but I never thought that I would make that my career. And so obviously I thought, okay, fine, since I've sung all my life, let me just try this. I had also aspirations in terms of which groups I wanted to sing with. So I did an audition. I was like, okay, fine, I love Joy Celebration. Their message and everything. I'm a Christian, I love God. So that would be a good platform for me to go and sing. So I went there for an audition, and thank God I was admitted in. And one of my friends told me about the Lion King, the production Lion King. And he told me that there were auditions and if I would be interested in auditioning. And I thought, okay, fine. That's something to do. So I went to the audition, and I just continued. I was in the music industry. I was signed to Gallo record company. I was signed to basically maybe 3 record companies, but yeah.
Now, sorry, I need to just backpedal there. When you said you auditioned for The Lion King, did you get a part there?
Yes, I auditioned for The Lion King. You know, in South Africa itself, I already had a music career because I was signed to David Gresham Music. I was
I
signed to
remember
Gallo.
David Gresham, yeah.
Yes, I was signed as one of the artists. And then I moved from David Gresham. I was signed with a group at Gallo. And then the whole thing, you know, the music industry was a little bit frustrated to me at that age, and it was just too much going on. So I thought, okay, fine, let me go into audition for Joyous Celebration because I admired the group so much. Then I went into Joyous and I started working also for Sony Music as a backing vocalist and a session singer. So I was already in the industry in South Africa. And in Joyous Celebration, I was in Joyous 7. I had a solo there. And then during that whole process, I auditioned for Lion King, Germany, because for me, it was interesting to see people touring or going overseas and everything. So I thought, oh, that would be a nice opportunity. Let me just go and audition. Maybe let's see what happens. And I was called to Lion King, Germany. I was not necessarily auditioning for Germany because what they do is that they audition people, and then whichever company wants actors or singers, they will contact them to say, okay, fine, we saw this video, we want this singer, blah, blah, blah. So I was selected to be part of the singers that were going to Lion King, Germany. So I joined the production there. I was Rafiki, was cover Rafiki, the ensemble. So I was one of the actors there. I did that for 3.5 years, almost 4 years. Then I went into the European market. I was
For a
working also in
stage
Vienna.
production? Sorry, was this for stage production? Wow.
Yes, so I went to fully theater in Europe. I went full theater. I went to Austria. Kama Oper is one of the So I went into Austria. I went to Austria. Went on stage there. Did some European tours. Did a lot of musicals. Did different stage productions in Germany, and different tours in Germany. So yeah, basically not only in Germany but in the whole of Europe. So
this is singing and acting?
Singing and acting, yeah.
Wow, that's exciting,
yeah.
hey? So how long ago was that when you moved
oh my gosh
to Germany?
I left the Lion King, I think that was 2006. So from 2006 up to my son was born 2012, I was doing a lot of stage and different productions. And then when my older son was born, I stopped because I mean, that kind of life, you have to have a lot of energy to be moving around, to be, so I started settling down a little bit and doing also my own music and joining corporate bands. I'll be singing for corporate gigs here, for banks, for different things. So that one is not taxing. I know that if I'll be called somewhere by a company to say, okay, for this weekend, we're booking you in Monaco, come and sing for this pharmaceutical company. Then I'll go there, sing for the whole weekend, then come back to Germany. So it's not so hectic as basically touring and things like that. So that's what I did.
You are living in Germany. Do you have any intention of coming back to South Africa, or
course.
what are your plans?
Oh my God. I came back to South Africa. I was actually in South Africa when my son was born for 1 year, 1.5 years, 1 year. Yeah. And we also, I have property in South Africa, and we are also exploring to see, I mean, like I said, my family is very global. My husband is an American citizen. So my children also, they have a claim to America. And, but we also love Africa, and we love just what Africa stands for. Our culture, our vibrancy. Africa is so rich. So it's always a good idea to want to invest back at home, or to just try and do something, because our culture is beautiful. Our continent is beautiful. And to invest back into Africa is one of our aims with my husband, because he's also not a music producer, he's also a businessman, and he deals with big projects. So we want to tackle certain things in Africa and get involved in projects in Africa on different levels. So yeah, Africa's definitely a home.
Oh,
so,
what a project. That must be so exciting. And tell me,
yeah.
who's your biggest fan in your family? Who's your biggest supporter?
I think I would say my husband and my mom and my sister. I mean, my whole family is supporting me, so we support each other basically, because we celebrate each other, we support each other. But for me, what is exciting for me is for my mom to get to see me living my dream, or living just living living my dreams. So I love that. I love that. So she supports me all the way. But my whole family celebrates. We celebrate each other. We celebrate each other's successes, and we push each other. So yeah.
That's fantastic. What I wanted to ask you was, what has been the highlight of your career so far? If you look back at your life and you think, wow, that was fantastic, what would you say your highlight has been?
The highlight is meeting people from different countries, because it when you don't travel, or when you don't meet people from different countries, your perception of the world was one dimensional. So when you get to meet people from different places and hear their stories and hear what they do or what they don't do, you just get a little bit more open-minded, and you get to you get to be exposed to different cultures, to different how do I say, you get to appreciate other people's culture and their richness and everything.
And what I wanted to ask you as well, with COVID-19, with the pandemic that hit us, how did that affect you as a professional musician?
Oh my God. Of course, it affected musicians 100%. You can't even say a little bit or whatever. It affected us like 100%, because most of us, theater, people in theater, musicians that are all over, it's just affected us 100%. I won't be able to go into the nitty-gritties of it, but it really did have a big impact on the arts. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. But now I want to get to the nitty-gritty of why we are here. You signed up with Onpassive. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got to sign up and why you decided to go for the business, for the opportunity?
How did I sign up? Let me start with that one. A friend of my husband told him about Onpassive, and he pitched it to him and said, okay, fine, you should check this out. It's a wonderful opportunity for passive income. Just told him everything. My husband came to me and said, listen, baby, I know you like researching about everything, so I want you to research about this company, find out who they are. And then later, I think after a few days, we got a login into a guest webinar, something like that. So I was like, okay, fine, let me just, at first I was not interested, to tell you the truth, because, there's so many things that are coming by, join this, join that, don't join. I mean, you get exhausted basically going through and sifting through all those things. So I was like, okay, fine, just let me just give it a benefit of a doubt. But he had to ask me more than 5 times to join, or to get interested in trying to find out what Onpassive is about. So I joined the webinar, and it was really like, okay, I think it was Charles. You said it was Charles, right?
Charles the song, yes. Great leader.
He is such a great leader. I just want to say, that guy, the way he broke down everything, I was like, wow, okay. So I was like 50%, a little bit convinced. And then I got an opportunity to check out Ash and actually listen to some things that, he spoke about. So, or some of his recordings and everything. And after seeing Ash and everything, I was like, oh, okay, I'm convinced. I'm 100% convinced. And
for
it
those
was
of
mainly
you that don't know who Ash is, Ash Mufara is the CEO of Onpassive.
Yeah. And what got me is that most of the time you get, things that get pitched to people will tell you, oh, join this company, but you never get to see the CEO or the leadership, or hear their heart, or hear them speaking about the vision of the company. You're only convinced to join, and maybe if you're in the group, or you will one day get to see the CEO or hear him speak, or whatever. But with Onpassive, it was different. Even after I joined Onpassive, on every on every founder meeting, Ash is there. So, and to hear his heart with his quirky humor, he's very humorous. So it's just, you fall in love with him, because his heart, first of all, his heart for humanity, his heart and the passion about his business, that's what what drew me to him, because I'm also very passionate about what I love. And not only is he passionate because he will benefit from it, but he's passionate and he wants everybody to benefit from it. So I was just blown away. I was like, wow, this guy is passionate about also other people making it. About other people also making it. Not only I'm passionate, I'm working hard, it's for me and my family, and that's it. Me, myself, and I. That's not it. he's passionate, and he wants everybody to succeed. And I was like, this is amazing. And then I got to, saw some of the leadership on some of the videos, and just hearing them speak, and how everybody was just, what, we're in it to win it. I got to see their hearts, when somebody, I mean, I believe in energy. So, the energy attracts, like attracts like. So I was just, it spoke to me, my spirit, like everybody that I saw on the video, I didn't necessarily, it was not about hearing them personally or physically, but I felt their spirit. And for me, that was it. I knew that I made the right decision. I knew that I
That's
made the right
fantastic.
decision. And I was like, I don't care. I mean, I invested this, my children, my husband, I started,
Really?
signing up people. Yeah. So I was
When
like,
was this? When did you sign up? How
I
long
think it
ago?
was in January. It was
This
in
year?
January. Mm, I think
Oh,
it was in
right. So
January.
you're still a newbie. Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
So
And
did you
I'm so
you're just
glad that
all
I
in?
joined.
No, that's fantastic. Did you know at the time, Lerato, that Onpassive was going to help you in your industry? Not just the fact that you can earn this residual passive income, but that you will actually be able to use the tools for betterment of your industry
Yes, with
and
the
your market.
products. You're speaking specifically now about the products. Yes, of course. I mean, when the breakdown of the products came about and it was explained to me, I knew that in terms of my businesses, of course, it's going to help me as well. So I was excited about that one alone, that I'll be able to use the tools on passive to also further myself or push myself. And what also I loved what I loved from Ash's discussions was about traffic, because all of us, all musicians and everybody, you depend on how many people come on your site, how many people come and patronize your what do you call it, your online shops or whatever. So when he spoke about that, he's an expert on traffic. And then the other thing that got me was AI, artificial intelligence, because the world is moving there anyway. So we might as well move with it or stay behind. So right now we are the pioneers. We are one of the pioneers as Onpassive. I was like, okay, I'm jumping on this boat now. So I don't want to wait later, because the whole world is moving to that direction anyway. So
Absolutely.
those are the two main things too. I was like, okay, fine, this is going to help me in my career, in my business as well, as a singer. And then you have traffic, we're working with somebody who's an expert in that field. So that's amazing. So I'm really excited about that.
And it's awesome that you have an IT background, so you understand the logistics, the moving parts of
Yeah,
creating something as enormous as Onpassive.
it is.
For those that just come on and don't really know
Mm.
anything about Onpassive, just quickly in a nutshell, Onpassive is a global IT company driven by the latest artificial intelligence and machine learning technology. We've got over 50 product services and tools all under the one umbrella of Onpassive. And currently, we've got over 560,000 founding members globally. It doesn't matter what origin, race, or creed you are, everyone is equal in Onpassive. It's just such a wonderful community to be part of. And our CEO, Ash Mafara, he's got a degree in Masters of Information Technology and E-commerce from the American Continental University. He's also done various courses through Harvard University for particularly online marketing and business and what have you. And he's got 20 odd years experience in online business and network marketing and so forth. Now, Onpassive is not an MLM, it's not a network marketing business, it's a global IT company. We licensed and registered, and we are in 212 countries. So there are founding member positions currently for $97. It's really a giveaway. I always encourage
Mm.
people to use the
Mm.
card. There is a $5 admin fee, but you get access immediately. And yeah, we would love to welcome you. I'm going, and you just got to get in. And we do encourage, especially South Africans. I mean, yeah, we've got a superstar who's traveling the world representing South Africa. And, we just need more of us to get together and, do what our late president, Nelson Mandela, wanted, was to work together in unity for the betterment of our country. And Onpassive is going to be that one thing that's going to be able to change the world. And as Ashmafara says, that he's got such a heart for humanity. He said he cannot go to bed, sleep peacefully, knowing that he's got a nice house, he's drives a nice car, has a great meal, knowing that there's children running around with no shoes, children running around that's not, hasn't had a meal. And there's so much poverty around the world that he needed to do something about it. But he is inviting us as founders. And it's amazing because you will notice that everyone that joins Onpassive has got that same heart to help humanity. And together, we're going to go out across the globe when Onpassive launches, and we'll be able to get the house we want and, fulfill our dreams and aspirations. But our tank is going to be full. And then the excess, there is going to be abundance. Onpassive is wealth creation, creating dynasties. Like Lerato said, she got a whole family in. She was so excited. They are set for life. And it's not just your family. You can go out into your communities and make a real difference where you can change the lives of others. And we together can help turn poverty into prosperity across the globe, one step at a time, one person at a time, and one project at a time. And Lerato, I wanted to ask you, with that, once your tank is full and you guys have got everything that you want, what is one of the projects or things that you would like? What sort of charity foundation cause do you have a heart for that you're wanting to make a difference in?
Before I answer that, I just wanted to add to what you said.
Yes.
In order to join Onpassive, you don't have to be computer literate or to be a guru in IT or AI. It's very important for people to know that you will be assisted and you can learn as you go. So that should not be something that will stop people from wanting to join. So it's very important because I had those questions coming to me to say, okay, fine, do I have now to sit on the computer 24/7 to do this business? And I said, it's not, you don't have to be even a guru in computers. As long as you can switch on, yeah.
Yes, it's
You can
literally
switch
for
on
all
your
the
computer.
people. Before you continue with what I asked you before, a perfect example, there's a lady, Priska, from Papua New Guinea, and she literally sold trinkets on the side of the road, and it took her 2 weeks. She said she knew that she needed to get into this business, and she never had the money in Papua New Guinea. It's like in Africa, the countries are impoverished and the economy is not very good. So she worked for 2 weeks selling these trinkets and got a little bit of help from her cousin as well. But eventually, after 2 weeks, she was able to come up with the $97 to pay for her possession. And her life is going to change. She's illiterate. She cannot read or write, but she knew. She never had a computer. She knew she needed to get into this, and she will learn as she grows. And she's become like, someone that everyone can look up to. Do whatever it takes to get this position, because you pay twice with Onpassive, once to become a founder and then only one-time subscription. The company is subscription based because we'll get to use all these products for around about $250 one-time payment. It could be $250, $260, whatever, around about there. But you pay once, and the wonderful thing is that you never have to worry about that subscription again, because the company, what Ashmafara has done, he has taken every problem that existed online, and he's found a solution for it. And now the commission, it gets taken out of our commissions earned, that the companies driving traffic to our websites, they take that money and keep it aside for your next month's subscription, so you never have to go out of pocket again. So, I mean, your investment is literally, it's not an investment, but your total, what you're all in, at around about $350, and you have got a life-changing opportunity ahead of you. So, sorry, Lerato, to go back to what your cause and what you're wanting to do with that excess.
Yeah, so one of my passions is dealing with senior citizens, especially in South Africa. When people get to a certain age, I don't know, there's this popular belief that they are not worth anything to society anymore. So I'm interested in changing that concept by, I want to do projects. If I can, here in Germany, what they do is that they build all sort of like community houses where all the people will come during the day to be looked after and also to do projects. So, if they do projects, it doesn't matter what they do, as long as they're together and they can do projects together. Those who know how to knead or whatever, they can teach the younger generation or anybody who wants to learn a skill they can learn it from the older people, if they can, if they are fit enough to teach that. If they don't want to teach, then a little bit of exercise, letting them exercise, let them move around, let them have that interaction with people, so that they will know that they still matter in the community, and just to change the narrative or the concept that when you get to a certain age, you're not important anymore in the society.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is one of my passions. So that's what I want to do. And then the second project is drinking water. I believe that there are so many ways to get drinking water, to how do I say, to get clean drinking water, like building wells, projects of building wells and things like that, especially in communities where women would have to travel kilometers and kilometers just to get water. That's, for me, that whole concept is just ridiculous. I think that we have the technology at this point to be able to do something about these things, and they don't have to pay a fortune to do that, because not water is a natural resource. So should we be able to build wells and tap into the natural resources without having to be roofed off? I think we can do that. So just once pay the money, let the wells be dug out, and let the people have water. For goodness sake, those are the things that I'm passionate about, and it makes me so angry when those things are not available. Basic needs like water, it doesn't make sense to me. So that's one of my passions as well. And then my husband happens to be in solar energy projects. He knows a lot of, he's involved in some projects that are involving solar energy. So I want to also get involved in that, because especially in South Africa now, there's a huge problem with Eskom. You guys are just suffering there with,
We've actually got power outage tonight at 10 o'clock again.
It's so ridiculous. I'm like, just changing the narrative, and we need to use the natural resource. The sun is one of the most powerful natural resource that we have in Africa. And not to be able to use that energy that we have from the sun, to me too, is like, come on guys, let's tap into other things. Let's help the community. There's no reason why we should still be struggling with electricity in South Africa. Why?
And what, we cannot count on our government. There's just so much, we got 58 million people in South Africa, and yet we don't know where the money's going. So that is one thing, unfortunately, many countries can't count on their government, and that is why coming together with Onpassive, we're going to be able to take a stand, and to make a difference. So we just really encourage you to come on board. There's so much to do and so much to speak about. Once you get in, there's just webinar after webinar, and we have these fireside chats, and we discuss our desires and needs, just like I've discussed with Lerato now. And we just want more and more of that. And the heart, you'll see that we're all beating as one. We got the same desires, the same wants and needs, to help humanity. It's the correction to the corruption, as Ash says. Onpassive will be the correction to the corruption.
Exactly. And one last thing that I'm also passionate about is education system. I feel like when you compare the other countries around the world and the education that we have in South Africa, and what people have to pay, how much people have to pay to get quality education, it's infuriating, So I just believe that we can, if through Onpassive, through Onpassive,
great e-learning platform.
Exactly. Through that also, and if we need physical classrooms, decent classrooms with decent facilities for children, and even kindergartens, you don't have to be multimillionaire for your child to go to a decent kindergarten that has a decent basic entry education for small children. You have to have quality material for the children to offer to the children, to their young minds. So just those kind of projects for me is a passion for me. So may God help me, because I don't know where I'm going to begin, because those are all the things that I'm interested in.
There's just going to be more and more coming up as we go. But it's going to be so lovely, because, we're going to have that money. And that's why I tell people, we've got to start thinking now what we're going to do, because our lives, as we know it, is going to be drastically changed, dramatically changed. We're going to be in the top 3% of earners in the world.
Last thing. The last thing is nature conservation. Like I said, I believe Africa is beautiful. Africa is amazing, especially when you lived everywhere else in the world. I mean, I've traveled so many places. I mean, there's so many other places that I want to see, but home, South Africa is beautiful. It's mind-blowing how beautiful the continent of Africa as a whole is. So I believe we need to actively do something to preserve our nature, to preserve our animals, to take care of our environment. So it starts from educating people about living in harmony with the natural, the nature around us and everything, and going into projects that protect like endangered species like lions and all those big cats. Like, I was crying for weeks out when I found out that the white rhinos, I think was one left around I'm like, how is that
Terrible.
even possible?
Yeah.
How do we not have white rhinos? How?
But
It's just,
it's
they
also got to
broke.
do with education, because people think,
Yes, yes,
that it will cure certain things and what have you. It's education, and
yes,
with Onpassive, with Academy, we are going to be able to educate those that are not
yes,
educated, and
yes.
it's no fault of their own. It's we just haven't had the infrastructure, but now we are going to have all of that, and it's really, we're going to be a different humanity. We're going to
Yeah.
it's you know we this it just changes, our hearts, as we grow in Onpassive. I've been with Onpassive since September 2019, and how I've grown and changed as a person, where what I thought I wanted before, it's nothing. Yes, you still have that dream of, I want this and I want that, but my heart has changed. My heart is like, I've got so much more love for
Yeah,
humanity now. I just want to
yeah,
help so
yeah,
many more people,
yeah, yeah.
because it does. One of my favorite sayings is, giving makes you is the most selfish thing you can do, because it makes you feel so good.
Mm,
And it does.
mm.
When you give, it does make you feel so good. And also,
And also
when
when you
you
give,
witness acts of kindness, when you see other people doing good, you also want to do good. So that's what it's going to do. It's going to have this ripple effect as we hear
mm,
the stories going out of what the founders are doing with their excess.
mm,
We're going to just want to do more and more.
mm, mm.
Sorry, as you were
And then
saying,
also
Lerato.
not forgetting that when you give to others, you actually give to yourself, Marina. Because as much as we think that we're separate, we're actually connected. So when you give to another person, you're actually giving to yourself, because that energy, you open a flow. You understand? So we're not separate, we're connected. So you're basically giving to yourself. So it's for somebody to remember that.
And that's why it makes you
Yeah.
feel so good. This has been fantastic, Lerato. Our time is running out now, but I just want you to give a few last words for people in South Africa, or for musicians that you've met and you've come across, artists. What are your last words, and why do you think that they should join Onpassive?
I mean, it's not this one right here, it's not this question. Like, you don't even have to think twice about joining Onpassive, because as soon as you hear, first of all, the CEO's heart, and what his vision is, and the leadership, when you get to meet everybody, you will understand that we're not only talking about empowering ourselves, we're talking about changing the world and the narrative. So it's these energies that are coming together to change the story, to say, okay, fine, we're rewriting history, first of all, of how, certain, we want to change things. We want to change things. Ash spoke about poverty. We want to change things. We need to change the narrative. So it's not even a question of, do you want to join? It's like, do you want to make a difference? Do you want to be a being that came into this universe and made a difference, and left a mark? When you live here, you say, okay, fine, we did this as a body, as Onpassive, we did this. One less child is, a child is not hungry. So many things. We're going to change the world. So it's not even a question. When you understand the vision, you will understand that it's beyond you being comfortable and you being financially secure. It's beyond that. So as a
That's a
musician,
done
I would
deal.
say, yeah, for musicians, I would say that most of us are not financially in the music industry. A lot of musicians, we are more about our art, so we don't go into the business side a lot. So when you talk about how do I say, financial education in terms of musicians, it's still lacking there. uh, as much as we are invested in our art, I also believe that we can still, be in how do I say, literate in terms of wealth building, to build wealth. I'm trying to take it out as from my mind and just, it's like a lot of ideas that are coming in, but I hope you can understand it's a little
I
bit up.
understand you perfectly, and I'm not a musician.
So I just want musicians to also thinking about building a legacy and building wealth. We should also tap into that aspect, because most of the time we're just concentrating on our art. So an Onpassive will give us that opportunity, first of all, to have financial freedom. When you have that financial freedom, you'll have the time to invest your energies into what you love. Your music will even make sense, because then you're not worried about how much is this person going to pay me in order for me to appear there, right? So it will not be about the money, it will be about you sharing your art, right? So that is very important. And when you do that, when you are financially secure, you're not going to be easily exploited as a musician. So you won't be taking each and every gig, even gigs that are not necessarily, rhyming with who you are. Because sometimes some of us, you are everywhere so there's no principle. You don't go to places where you know that this serves me as a person and this is what my brand represents. You sell out. So that when you are financially secured, you will be less likely to, get involved in projects that are not necessarily beneficial for our environment or our, how do I say, humanity as a whole. You won't be involved in that. You'll be only involved in projects that are speaking to your heart and speaking to other people's hearts. So our focus will be different, will be somewhere else. So for musicians, I urge all of them to at least give yourself an hour, go through videos. There are YouTube videos where Ash and the whole leadership is talking. If you don't understand the concept, then sit down and check it out. You owe yourself that. You owe yourself that an hour to check it out, right? And that the money that is being asked to invest at the beginning, I will talk about me. When I heard about the money, it's like, oh, you have to pay this 90 something at the beginning. To me, it didn't matter. I was like, should this be, because at the beginning I was very skeptical. I told you that these people were like, oh, join this, join that. So I was very skeptical. I was like, what if it's a scam? And I was like, what? I'm willing to sacrifice that much money at the beginning, and I don't care, because after hearing Ash speak, it didn't matter anymore to me. So make that investment. You're not only making that investment for now, it's for your future, for your generations. Because what you don't understand is that when you join Onpassive, that place that you buy, it can be generational. You can leave it to your children, you can leave it to your grandchildren. So basically you're building wealth, a generational wealth for also your children. So they don't have to start where you started. They start on a higher level than us. I believe our children don't have to start where we started. They have to start at a better place. So you will help them also to come in and not struggle. They won't have to fight life. You will help them to come in where they can just take the baton and move forward and do something good for humanity. So that's that. And then my last statement would that time and space is not a barrier against minds that are connected in love. And that is what I found in Onpassive. All the people are connected in love. And when you feel that energy, you will know that time and space is not a barrier. Like I'm talking to you now, I feel like I've known you, I don't know for how long.
Yes, I know. Isn't
I'm
it
so
awesome?
relaxed, and I'm like, yes, Marina, because right. So it's so nice to meet people who have the same spirit and the right mind and our intentions are on the same thing. So it's so refreshing, and I'm so glad that I joined Onpassive. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you, Lerato. I still want to hear that. I think you must end off with the chorus from your song, Take Over.
Take over.
Yes.
Take over.
But what I wanted to say as well, for influencers, for musicians that have a huge following, if their following comes into Onpassive, not only are we now admiring your work and you're the only one benefiting, getting paid for whatever advertising you do and all that, your followers can also now succeed. And, when they share your link and bring people into Onpassive, they're building you, but they're also building their legacy
themselves
as well.
Yes.
So there's just, I've just got to say, get in, like Lerato said, get in, sign up. You don't need to know anything about IT. This is about changing your family tree, changing your future, and leaving a legacy that you can be proud of going forward. Lerato, it was absolutely lovely chatting with you, getting to know you, and I'm sure we're going to chat a lot more often. But how can people get hold of you? Where would you prefer them to follow you? Do you have a YouTube channel, website, Instagram?
Yes.
Do you want to give that
So
to us?
it's YouTube at Lerato Shadare. All my online handles is Lerato Shadare. So Twitter at Lerato Shadare, YouTube at Lerato Shadare, Instagram at Lerato Shadare, and then my website is leratoshadare.com, www.leratoshadare.com.
Fantastic. I'm going to put all that in the description of this video, and I put it out, so you'll be able to find it. Just please make sure to like, subscribe, and share this on this channel, and we welcome you all into Onpassive, and I hope that Lerato's story has inspired you and given you, put you in a position to make an informed decision to get on in and become an Onpassive founder, which is really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yes.
Thank you, Lerato. Do you want to say goodbye?
Yes, you guys, thank you so much for having me, Marina. So
don't forget to sing that chorus.
I should sing the chorus. Why are you putting me on the spot, Marina?
Just give people a little taste of what they can expect.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh, well, the chorus of Takeover, right? Okay.
Well, just a little bit, whatever, of Takeover.
Okay,
just so they can get an idea.
This is the hour. This is the place. Jesus, take over in this place. Hearts are open. We need you now. Jesus, take over in this place.
Wow.
Is that good?
That's fantastic. Well, you've got to watch the video, and I'm going to share all that. You guys have to watch it. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Touched my heart, and as I said, you've got a voice of an angel. Lerato, thank you so much. We cannot wait for you to come back to South Africa. Let us hook up. We're going to meet again, and it's going to be awesome to share all our stories.
That's my spot right there. I love mugs and beans. They're gigantic muffins are my thing. So
thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.